Coach, let's talk about, now that you've had a couple of days of practice, you got exhibition out of the way. What have you seen so far as far as newcomers stepping in and contributing?
Right now, our first group is pretty solid. We know who they are. The second group is really coming on. They're developing, at least on the offensive end. The defensive end will be able to tell more after this weekend when we play UCLA in a scrimmage. Now, we've got to, but the second group offensively might be the strongest second group I've ever had since I've been at A&M. The second group. Now, I'm not saying that first group has Kelsey Bone or Daniel Adams or post players like what we've had in the past, but the second group, they can score. Can they defend? Only time will tell. And that's right now what I like. I think we're 12 deep. I've got 12 scholarship players and one walk-on. The other day we played 11. Curtis Knox is not quite back yet. Hopefully we'll be able to have her back really by December 1st. I think that'll probably be where she can give us significant playing time behind Jordan. But right now, Shalonte Allen is my backup point guard, and like today in practice, she'll be at the 2 position where she prefers to play. But I keep telling her at the 2 position, I've got Courtney Walker and Danny Williams who are both pretty good too. But Shalonte is just a fun kid. It's something, it's either going to be good or bad, a plus or a minus almost on every play. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get her to come down and have more pluses than minuses. Because the girl can create, and the girl has got a scorer's mentality. And that's why she was a JUCO All-American. And last year, I think really helped her because she was able to study the Division I game when she wasn't playing. And I think she's going to be that spark off the bench that we have to have.
Coach, how's Jordan Jones look coming off of knee surgery, and what are you expecting from her this year?
I'd say Jordan's at about 90%, 105% mentally, because she's ready to play. She's really worked on her outside shot. I think you'll be seeing her shoot more threes this year than she has in the past, and until she gets a lot of confidence in that knee, the driving layup will not be there as much as it's been in the past. I think what she will do is she will come in and just try to find out what does the team need from her in that particular game or matchup. And it's just like in the last ball game, look, she played about 24 minutes, 9 assists, 1 turnover, scored 8 points, did everything. It was just so easy for her. And that's the way I want to bring her along. No matter what, I have to get a point guard ready for the following year. And that's why Allen and Knox are both going to play a lot this year, particularly in non-conference games, because I'm not going to be playing Jordan 38 minutes a ball game early, because the most important season starts in January, not in November, December.
When you get to January, those big games, how deep is your bench going to be? How many people are going to be averaging, do you feel, in double digits when you get to conference play?
Well, at the 5 position, you know it will be, because Mitchell and Hillsman, they will share that position. And believe it or not, we've loved having the 3-headed player, but I would get confused. Who had a good practice the day before? Who's making the most mistakes? Right now, they're both going to be playing big-time minutes at the 5, because now if I go small ball, we'll have to put Jazz at the 5, the Lumpkin kid from Michigan State. And she would remind you size-wise of my first post player I had here, Tamika Scales. I mean, she is small in stature, and that would really hurt us on the rebounding end. But when we want to play small ball, or if we're behind, if we have to get into a real fast, up-tempo game, Williams will be at the 4, Jazz will be at the 5, or the freshman Andrea Howard, who's the best rebounder we have on the team. And she's doing it coming off the bench right now.
What do you expect from her rebounding production-wise as a true freshman, Gary? Howard.
As long as she can remember the offense and the little things. I will not be able to decide again until after I've seen her against great Division I play this weekend up in Dallas. So I'll be able to judge what can she do defensively. Athletically, between Pat Henry and myself, we got us a jewel right there because she attacks the boards. And I mean, she's just one of those quick jumpers that can go up so quick in a crowd, but she's only 5'11". So when she comes down, she's amongst trees. She's got to learn to kick it out instead of constantly going back up, or she's going to be eating a lot of Wilson early in her career. But the kid's not afraid of anything. What we've got to do is just tone her down, right around the 15-foot range. That's her range. She's very good. But her strength is transition. Her strength is offensive rebounding, which we have nobody that can offensive rebound like her.
Is this going to be an up-tempo team, basically? What about your style? Those guys.
We're going to be trying to run more than we ever have, mainly because of the depth that we have at the guard position, and possibly because of the lack of scoring at the 4 and the 5 that has done it in the past. Whatever they do, they got to do it more consistently, my 4 and my 5s, because neither of my 4s have scored a point. Mitchell has just been floating around for 4 years. Hillsman really played well the last 10 games of the year, but we haven't been able to depend on it. So if I have to even get more scoring from the guards than what I had in the past, we're going to be doing it. You will see this team press more than we have in the past. Instead of always sitting back and waiting for them to come at us, we're going to have to go get people because of the depth that we have at the guard position. I'm 2 to 3 deep at the 1, 2, and the 3 position. And so I can rotate a lot of people in. But at the same time, you say, can you afford to take Williams and Walker off the court because of their scoring and their knowledge and their offense? We're going to have to if they're not playing that well on the defensive end. We're going to have to try somebody, and then maybe they'll come back in fresher, play a little bit harder. I think very similar, like when you look on the men's side, Caruso might not have to play 35 minutes a ball game and make the mistakes at the end of the games that he was making. The same way we want Williams and Walker, instead of the 32 to 33 minutes they're playing, cut them down to about 29 to 28, and then develop some of these players coming off the bench.
What are your thoughts on the rule changes?
We're going to work on a little bit today. You're going to have to think ahead, like we're going to work on 2-for-1s now. And 2-for-1s mean you're coming down, the ball's in your hands, and you've got about 50 seconds. You want to get a quick shot off in the next 10 seconds where you'll have the possession at the end. So we're going to be working on that, which we've never done before. The sideline plays, we need to get the ball in the hands of the right people at an end of the game situation. I mean, we have a free flow and motion offense, but at the end of game situations, we need to have the hands and the balls of Walker and Williams and Jones and the scorers. Dump it in when we got a wide open post player that's wide open, but other than that, it's their time. They're seniors. They need to be able to score under pressure. The other rule changes, the 5 fouls and all that, that doesn't matter to me. I think it helps my post players because if they get fouled on the floor, most post players, as DeAndre Jordan, are bad free throw shooters. Some of them are not bad. Actually, the best one I have is actually Rachel Mitchell. Her touch is just very good if she's focused and she gets to the line. But if you got 2 shots, I can hope for 1 out of 2. When they were always shooting 1-and-1s, maybe it wasn't coming our way, particularly if it was the first time at the line. The other thing, I think it really helps the kids coming off the bench. So if you come in the second quarter and you're playing the last 6 minutes, you get fouled and you hadn't been to the free throw line, you hadn't shot an outside shot, you get 2 chances to make one. If you shoot in the front end of 1-and-1 and you haven't been in the ball game and hadn't even put up a shot, odds are 50-50 at best you'd make that free throw.
Gary, you've been looking for production beyond the arc. Teams won't zone you as much as they will, and if they do, maybe they'll pay a little more. Is Danny Williams that person? Is Taylor Cooper continuing to develop? How important are those two in terms of being a reliable three-point threat?
I think they both. Danny hadn't had a shot she didn't like. I mean, that girl put it up. And I want that mentality, and I'll tell her what a bad shot is later. But right now, I want her to have that Steph Curry mentality that she can score anywhere. And she'll learn. Defense will get a whole lot better as we get into SEC play, and she'll learn how to move and get herself open like Walker can to get that mid-range shot. Cooper, I just wish she'd have started here with Oral Roberts, a freshman, and she's just learning how to be that type of player that Marianne Baker was for us. Marianne's last year, her only year that she was healthy. And right now we've got Coop completely healthy, but she's doing some nice things, and she's not afraid to make a play right now. She wants to be a coach, and so does Danny. And both of them are quick studies in the film room, and they feel good about themselves right now. But when we're seeing zones, you'll see Williams at the 4, and we'll put in one of those shooters. Okay, and nobody's mentioned a most improved player on the whole basketball team. It's none of those people. It's Chelsea Jennings. Chelsea Jennings, by far, is the most improved player, and that started from about her last game last year all the way through the spring, the summer, and now. I've just got to find time for her. And to do that, some other kids have got to sit down, because I'm putting a fresher body in there who's a senior who's just killing it from 17 feet in right now. And so you're going to see a lot of minutes out of her, and you'll see a lot of minutes where Williams goes to the 4 spot, because in our motion offense, there's not no double, high-low, anything like that. It's strictly a 4-out motion. Anybody can shoot, and whoever sets the best screen is generally going to become the next shooter. And we're getting better at it. We're working on it every day, whereas in the years past, I'd work on it twice a week, forget about it, wouldn't work on it at all. Every day we worked on motion offense to go along with our sets that we run, which have been very good for us.
Gary, how do you balance an up-tempo offense with Hillsman and Mitchell when you might face a team where you need size inside for defense?
Conditioning, it's not talent. It's conditioning, being able to go harder and longer than what they've been able to give me so far. Remember, this is Mitchell's 5th year. She hadn't had to do it in high school. She hadn't had to do it in college yet. She can do it in practice. Your conditioning is always good when the team is going good and when you're going good. All of a sudden, when there's mistakes or turnovers or you missed a couple of shots, then they start getting back down to the other end a lot slower. That's where Hillsman is right now. Hillsman has worked hard on her body and toned up and worked hard and put in the extra conditioning, but it's got to translate. Can you go up and down? Can you go up and down? Can you play Kelsey Bone and Daniel Adams minutes? And you can't just hope for a TV timeout or a 30. What you've got to do is be able to go harder and longer. When she gets tired is when she fouls. And when she fouls, that hurts our whole team. But having a 2-headed center instead of a 3-headed center, I think it's going to be better for us in the long run, because each kid knows they're playing double-figure minutes played. They have to be ready. They're going to produce. And they're going to make some of the worst mistakes you've ever seen. But our teammates get behind them more than any other player on the team. When They do good in practice. They're getting so much backslapping. And great job, Kyler. Great job. It's making those kids feel better. And as coaches, we're trying to do the same thing. Don't dwell on all the negativity that comes with practice sometimes. 3/4 of your teaching should be positive. It shouldn't be negative. And that's hard for us coaches sometimes.
Given all the talent you have, all the veteran leadership, all the depth you have on this team, how excited are you for this season?
You know, let's just say, I go back to last year where we had an injury. We should have been able to overcome that injury with as much talent as we had. We did. I didn't hang my head all summer. I did, Lord.
I think God said something different.
I found a way, but when you talk to people around town, they acted like we had a down year. Maybe we didn't live up to the expectations at the end, but it wasn't a down year. We were trying to replace Carla Gilbert at the 5 position, and we had to start with a 3-headed post, and one of them finally won the position, Hillsman. I think we got better. We played the competition like we always do, and I'm trying to go by this motto. If you remember, 2 years ago, Duke lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament to Mercer. They came back and won the national championship this year. And we will not be close to being the favorite to win. You know who the favorite is, okay? And they would have to stumble or have injuries because they've got 2 of the top 5 players in the country right there on one team. But at the same time, what did they say about us in 2011 before the season started? Just another good Texas A&M team. Y'all weren't thinking national championships. And then all of a sudden, why not us? Why not the teams that are knocking on the door, the South Carolinas, the Kentuckys, Tennessee hadn't been to a Final Four since 2008 when they beat us to get to the Final Four in Oklahoma City. So as soon as you take something that's a given, sport will prove you wrong. It will prove you, and that's what's so great about every sport that we have. Why don't we do a story on why that track was built and we didn't put it around town?
They're bringing basketball fans.
I like that. Coming from West Houston, we need to start that up since buses hadn't worked there since I get the train. I like that. All right, I'm sorry if I butchered that question.
No.
The rest of it.
Well, Coach, you mentioned something earlier about the girls adjusting to, no TV timeouts. How are they adjusting with the 4 quarters and not again looking over to the sideline at a certain amount of time?
Well, I didn't adjust in the first ball game. I looked up at the clock and it said, there's only 6:20 left in the first half, and I said, I got to sub more. It was still in the first quarter. So I looked around to put people in, and it just takes a while. You got to get used to it. But remember, men's basketball is now the only basketball program that is playing 2 halves. Everybody else is quarters. High school, college, pros, Olympics, WNBA, NBA, European leagues. Everybody plays by quarters. So just because we invented the game, sometimes you have to change. And if it's going to give us more scoring opportunities and it's going to keep the fans more interested, then let's try it. If it doesn't work, we can go back. We usually never go back. Once a rule comes in, you're stuck with it. Can't make that up. I don't mind it.
Anything else for Coach?
We are deep this year, but what I've got to do is, when are we going to be able to tell how good we're going to be this weekend, and then when we play at Duke, 3rd game of the year. When I looked at our schedule, with teams that can possibly beat you or help you on RPI. We've got 10 of them in non-conference. More so, Tennessee's got 8, and everybody else is down at about 6 and below. So we've got the schedule to do it.
So what are you gonna do in those 10 games? What's your formula? You always have a formula. What do you guys gotta do?
I hate to put a number on it, but I want to go into Georgia in the first home game here and just be healthy. I want to be good. So, as Walgreens said, in the corner, healthy and happy and good.
Be unrealistic to think you win all 10 of those games, though. Even though you say you probably could win each one of them, but it's hard to win that many games in that kind of schedule. Right?
Oh, and the neutral court games, Ohio State and California, both loaded. Brigham Young over there in Hawaii on the Brigham Young's campus. And then Hawaii over there, even though it's not in their gym, it's in Hawaii Hilo's gym or BYU Hilo or something. I mean, it's going to be tough. If I come out of that 2-2, just those 2 trips, that's pretty good. The Duke game, when we played before there, we lost by 3 at the buzzer. They graduated their Elizabeth Williams, and they lost Alexis Jones, but they've got 2 of the top 5 players in the league.
They played you without Williams last time.
Sir?
They played you without Williams last time.
Right. So we're going to play the schedule, always will be. And we're trying to complete our schedule for next year right now, and I'm trying to get a marquee team to come in and start a series with. But I've got to be smart too. I got to finish up this recruiting class first. And let me tell you, it's been a hard year. And I guarantee you, the staff has worked harder this year on recruiting than we ever have. Still, sometimes it's tough to finish up because we've gone after a lot of national kids. And we haven't got a bunch. We've got 2 technical. I can't say who we got because I don't have them yet. But November 11th, hopefully it will come sooner than later. And hopefully we can get another one.